Manville is a very civic-minded and proud community. It is also one of the most resilient in all New Jersey. It is also one of the most disadvantaged when it comes to state school funding. Let me be clear. Despite the lack of state support, the Manville School District offers as good an education as you will find anywhere in this state. I know, in representing this great community for 10 years as a freeholder and state legislator, I have met Manville students and been impressed time and again. The success of this school district is a direct result of the dedicated efforts of its students, their families, the Board of Education, the superintendent, administrators, educators, and all other school professionals. Let us salute them. State school funding is the one issue above all others that holds the key to improving New Jersey. Know this, we cannot solve the property tax crisis or the pension crisis until we solve the school funding crisis. The three are inextricably linked. There are nearly 600 school districts in this state. It is well known that 200 of these districts are overfunded by the state. Said another way, these districts receive more aid than they are supposed to. How much? In total, it's over $500 million. This inequity is causing a crowding out effect of epic proportion, causing some school districts to suffer unfairly, pensions to go unfunded, and property taxes to skyrocket. We can't afford to go down this path any longer. The people of this state deserve better. Manville is one of 200 underfunded districts. For the 2016-17 school year, state aid to Manville is $9 million less than it should be. $9 million. That is 43% of its school budget. When an $800,000 home in Jersey City pays less than a $300,000 home in Manville, when 3 new schools are opening in Jersey City, paid for not by Jersey City, but 100% by the state, when people living in million-dollar townhomes in Hoboken can send their children to free pre-K, paid for not by Hoboken, but by the state. Manville, by the way, recently had to take its library, sacrifice its library to make more classroom space. And this community doesn't get a dime for free pre-K. State aid in all forms was never meant to be a subsidy in perpetuity. It was a bridge until a community could stand on its own. Jersey City and Hoboken are just 2 examples of communities that can now stand on their own. We celebrate Jersey City and Hoboken's revitalization, but there is no denying that state school funding is terribly flawed, it is blatantly unfair, and in my opinion it is a violation of Manville's right under the Equal Benefit Clause of the New Jersey State Constitution. Manville is not alone. There are a great many school districts in every section of the state that are also underfunded. Make no mistake, when we talk about there being a property tax crisis in New Jersey, we need to start being honest. Nobody likes paying property taxes, but the fact is, there is no crisis in communities whose schools are overfunded. There is no property tax crisis in Jersey City or Hoboken. There is a property tax crisis in Manville and the vast majority of other towns throughout New Jersey. We need reform of the state school funding formula. We need to make it fair. We need to make it right. We need to make underfunded districts whole, and we need to do it right now. Here's the challenge. We've been heading in the wrong direction for decades. Under both Democratic and Republican administrations and state legislatures, we've reached the tipping point. We're on the brink. We are last in economic growth, drowning in debt, unable to fund core priorities like infrastructure and pensions, crippled by rising property taxes, and paralyzed by an unfair school funding formula that cheats children, taxpayers, and school employees. Instead of real solutions, we're stuck with commissions and task forces that talk about problems instead of solving them, and special interests that spend millions each election to preserve a failed status quo. We need leadership. We need a plan. We need a comprehensive and dynamic plan worthy of bipartisan support. A plan we can honor and afford. A plan that acknowledges our fiscal realities while setting the stage for long-term prosperity for all citizens. A plan that creates a tide that lifts all boats. I have a plan, a 5-point plan, a plan that from this day forward will be central to my candidacy and, if elected as governor, the focus and goal of my administration. There is no more time for platitudes, rhetoric, or pandering. People know nonsense when they hear it. I can't tell you how much I wanted to use another word in place of nonsense. But we're in an educational setting, Dean. But people do need solutions. They want specifics. Here they are.